Glorious sunshine. Welcome back. Quite the different sort of skies from last week's video. As you know, we have had quite the number of days of rain, but they're all behind us now, and the garden has never been happier to have had just torrential rain for a good sort of 5 days, and now this truly spectacular sunshine. So I suspect it's going to be miracle grow, and everything is just going to grow like wild over the next couple of weeks. It is actually quite warm today. It's already 31 degrees. You can see with all the crazy weather we had, the white crepe myrtle has just sort of lost a few of her blooms with the wind and that. But I have already been to the farm shop, as you would have seen. All the water features are going. If you're ever wondering, these are solar water features. So the little solar panel for this one is just here. So when the sun is shining, we have the water fountains all bubbling away happily. But thank you very much for coming and joining me in my little corner of the internet here. And as always, I thought we would spend the next couple of days together. I've got something quite interesting tomorrow that I thought I might explain a little bit more tomorrow and maybe bring you along with me, just in case that you are in a similar situation to me and you might find it helpful. But I just wanted to pop outside, enjoy a little bit of sunshine and say hello to you. Gosh, I'm just looking at this bee. Could you see that bee then in that flower? Looked like he was struggling. She was struggling there. But yeah, so I just wanted to sort of, say a proper hello. Get some sunshine, enjoy a little wander. I did want to just show you, I know this hydrangea here on the corner, I don't know if I come this way, hopefully, I don't know if that's any better. This hydrangea here really struggled for quite the number of weeks, but look how happy it is now. She has just grown so much. And the other one just in here is just absolutely loving it in there. It's like the perfect place. But I definitely think growing season is fast approaching now. So we might have to make a trip to the garden centre. If not in this week's video, maybe next week's video. And if you're not subscribed and you do enjoy my content, please do subscribe. And it just means you get a little notification when new videos go up. But yeah, so maybe in next week's video, we might head to the garden centre and kind of just see what's wash and start stockpiling. I definitely need to get a lot more of the topsoil. We need to do a really good clean out in here. This cucumber here has gone over. The other one actually isn't too bad. It's still going strong. But yeah, I really want to just start stockpiling the soil so that once the end of season items come out of the kitchen garden beds, we can start topping up the soil and getting all of the nutrients, the compost and things added in. So it's got a couple of weeks to kind of settle before we start planting up for the new season. Can you see just through there all the flowers? Can you see them in the cut flower garden? We will definitely be getting out there. I need to cut a bunch more cut flowers. So we'll definitely be doing that in this video. What else have I got to do? Oh my gosh, I need to do my nails. They've gotten way too long. I'm not a huge painted nail girly. I quite like just my normal natural nails. I just think, yeah, anyway, it's just my personal preference, but I need to give them a good cut. They are too long. I might give myself a little bit of a pedicure as well. In any event, it should be a really lovely couple of days, and I hope you will stick around and join me for that. Oh, the sound of that water feature. So nice. Oh, all right. Well, unfortunately, I have a little bit more admin work to do, so I might head in, do that so I can tick it off of my list, and then once that's done, I might, as I said, maybe try and tackle my nails a little bit and just give them a good cut back and sort of tidy up. And then it's probably going to be time for lunch, and yeah, we'll have a bit of a catch up in the afternoon, see what's what, and go from there. Rightio, it is early evening. I've got my watering can. Oh, I've just run through a spider web. And I'm just gonna come out here and basically baby my raspberry plant. Let me tell you, me and the raspberry plant, we're gonna have words tomorrow, I think. It has gotten so big that it's actually a detriment to itself. Hold on, let me, whoops, dodging the spiders. Look at this. Can you see that pumpkin at the top there? Hold on. This is a pumpkin. And yes, I also managed to do my nails this afternoon. But all of the flowers are looking gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I can see the pumpkin there. Can you see? It's the vine is here in the peach tree. Goodness me. Yes, the raspberry. Now, you can see down here, just here, there is an actual irrigation point. But because the raspberry, so this is the raspberry here, the raspberry has fanned itself out, it actually is stopping the irrigation. So I've got to constantly come out here and just sort of top up its water supply because it becomes incredibly dramatic without regular watering. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I'm going to get some really thick gardening gloves on. Sorry, I'm just going to do the blueberries as well whilst I'm here. Yes, so tomorrow I think what I might do is get really thick gardening gloves, and you see it's got this little trellis here, and I think maybe we try and thread it through this trellis just to try and lift it up, because the water's just not getting into the pot, and so it's really starting to struggle. But that, getting it through there, might be a two-man job, so I might have to call in reinforcements for that. Anywho, I'm going to also maybe just quickly top up the strawberry pots because they don't get the irrigation. And then I'm going to go in and do a batch of cookies. I normally do one batch of chocolate chip cookies each week. So I might quickly race in, do that, and then put dinner in the oven. Oh my gosh, look at this. Those salvia. Now, if you've been subscribed for a while, you'll remember that those salvia were only supposed to grow 30 centimetres. Well, I think they're a little bit bigger than 30 centimetres. But the bees love them so much, so I've kind of just let them go. But alright, well, I might just finish off my little pot watering here and then I'll see you inside. Cookie dough is now done. Same recipe that I've done with you previously. It's the same one I do every single week. I just make one batch a week. Gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free chocolate chip cookies. They're so easy. I make them so much. I've got the recipe all memorized. It's, yeah, quite the delicious, tasty little snack to have. So I'm just going to kind of fold this up and then pop this in the fridge for about half an hour. And while that's chilling, I'm going to put my dinner in the oven and then kind of slowly start to get ready for the evening. And so I thought I'd just very quickly show you my cookies out of the oven. So I normally just have 2 cookies, but there was one little tiny baby one that I thought I would just have while it's fresh and hot out of the oven. I've got myself, this is a bit of an unusual combination, but I have a chamomile sort of sleepy time tea, and I add in cocoa to it, just like half a teaspoon of cocoa into the chamomile tea, and it just gives it that really delicious kind of chocolatey flavor. So I'm going to enjoy my dessert this evening, and I will see you in the morning. Well, I have arrived for my osteopath appointment and I'm just waiting to kind of head in, but they have a garden centre here, so we might have to have a little hunt around here once I get out, and I will have a full kind of explanation and debrief with you after the appointment. Alright, I have finished with my osteo appointment, and I will definitely debrief with you somewhere that's possibly not so noisy, where we can kind of sit and have a proper little catch up. But I will just say I was very impressed. Very, very impressed. I already feel better as a result, which is incredible. But I'll have a proper debrief with you shortly. But in incredible happenstance, where my osteo is, there is a garden centre, obviously, and I just thought I'd have a little wander around and then I would bring you with me. Oh, they've got strawberries here. I do need to, oh, and they've got their blueberries. They look like all really, oh, how cute is that tree there? How crazy. Have you ever eaten a dragon fruit? Well, there you go. That is the plant that dragon fruits come from. I don't know if I've actually ever seen a dragon fruit plant before. Not what I was expecting. Wow, some of the pots here are absolutely gorgeous. I love this. I even love like how worn it is. I wonder how much it is. There is no price. It is priceless. There's also no price on the bottom. Is that a price? Nope, that's not a price there either. They've got like, look how nice these are. They're very nice. And they've got like a cafe, they've got inside, they've got all homewares. So once we've had a little potter around, look at that. I love these sort of urns. I've got one in my garden already, but that is quite nice. As I was saying, Once we've had a little potter around out here in the garden centre area, we'll pop inside and have a little hunt around the homewares. Obviously, I am on quite a busy road here where the garden centre is, so that is the noise. Alright, I'm going to have a little potter, see if I can see anything, and then we'll head inside. So sort of from the plant area, they've got all of your outdoor furniture. Some of these tables are really nice. Anyway, I don't know if I finished my thought earlier, I got distracted by the pots, but they've also got like a really nice cafe here and all these water features. It's actually a really pretty place to come. There's a yoga studio. Back in the car, and I thought we would just have a really quick debrief about the osteopath appointment while it's all still fresh. So basically, an osteopath kind of looks at your body as a whole, and it looks at your bones, muscles, ligaments, and fascia, and how that all kind of connects. And I've been having quite a lot of issues with my lower back, and that's been referring around to my hip at the front, and I've also been having heaps of issues with my shoulder, my neck, and then all up into my jaw, and they've just been getting progressively worse, so bad that I've just not really been able to work out or anything like that, because everything's really causing it to flare up and become really painful, and it's really hindering movement. So I had a recommendation to come to this osteopath. I've not been before, but I have to say it has, as I said, my very first appointment, but even just in that first appointment, it has given me a lot of relief in my shoulders, my neck. She did a lot of work on my lower back and particularly my hip. She feels like there's some sort of alignment, like my hips are a little bit out of alignment. They're twisting. One side is twisting, my right side's kind of twisting a bit when I walk, and that's causing like referring pain throughout my body and that. And so she did sort of like massage and put a bit of pressure, like in pressure points, and then like moved and kind of stretched my body in certain ways. And you know, if you've ever had a massage, you'll know what I mean. You know when it's like a good hurt, like it's the muscle is so tight, and when they're pressing on it, it hurts, but it's like a good hurt. Oh my gosh, it just felt so good. I felt like I had like an actual release in the muscle. So I definitely feel a wider range of movement. I have hypermobility as well, so that is good and bad. And even just now, with how tight and sore I felt going into it, I definitely feel I've got much better movement now already, even after the first session. So I have made an appointment for next week. While I was in there, I also asked for recommendations for a naturopath as well as a lymphatic massage. I wondered if those sorts of things would also sort of help me with my kind of whole body, gentle, holistic approach, just to try. I'm really wanting to improve, like focus on my health this year and just trying to get myself into a really good place. You know, I'm late 30s now, so I really just want to make sure I'm setting myself up to feel my absolute best, to be my healthiest, to make sure I've got, you know, good movement going, you know, forward in my years. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of getting a team together, you know, naturopaths, osteopaths, massage, whatever it might be, Pilates instructors, those sorts of things, to try and give me the best support possible, to ensure that I am feeling my best. So I'm, yeah, really, really impressed with her. I thought it was definitely worthwhile. I'm very, very pleased that I went. So I don't know if that might help you. As I said, they're called an osteopath. They just focus on that kind of aspect of it. So if you're experiencing any sort of muscle joint pain or anything like that, maybe have a chat to your healthcare practitioner and see what they think, see if they could recommend an osteopath near you. Anyway, obviously I am no medical practitioner myself. I'm no training, no nothing, just giving you a recommendation from something that I found beneficial, so I thought I would just share. But do let me know in the comments if you would like to kind of come along with this health sort of journey with me. I'm not doing anything super extreme. I just really want to have a very gentle approach to it all and quite a holistic approach to making sure I'm feeling my best. So do let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in me sharing a little bit more of. But it was very convenient that there was a garden centre right next to it. So I had a nice little mooch around in there. But I am going to get going now. I've got a few errands to run before I head home. So I will talk to you soon. Rightio, home sweet home. I've got harvest basket. I've also got a jug of water here. I'm very keen to go down into the cut flower garden area and just cut a few of the blooms to do a nice little display on the patio. And I would really like to get that raspberry sort of, not sort of tied up, but try and thread it through the, what is it called? The trellis behind it. So I think that is what we might try and tackle this afternoon. Alright, let's head around, and I'm just maybe going to put all of my bits and bobs down on the patio, and then we'll head down to the cut flower garden area and see what kind of blooms we can get. Alright, let's head down. Oh, and I'm very pleased to say my temple bells is starting to grow again. That is so exciting. She was exceptional in spring. So that is definitely something to look forward to. Oops, spiderweb. So, cut flowers are here. I'm going to take a few of those off, as I said, and pop them on the patio area. And probably cut this pumpkin. Look how much it's just wild. Wild. But just to give you a little bit of the before, I'm not going to give it's quite a compact area here. So this is my raspberry before. Somehow I'm going to try and thread it up through here. I'll need to go and get quite heavy duty gloves because of the thorns, but I really just want to make sure that it can get the water from the irrigation system. But it's doing well. It's just needing to be babied a little bit. So maybe this is probably going to be the worst bit. So maybe we do the raspberry first, and then we'll do the flowers, cut flowers. That should be like a nice little treat at the end. I'll come back and show you what this looks like once I've managed to kind of thread it all the way up. Raspberry has kind of been wound up through. The leaves was a little bit funny when you do something like that. They always turn the wrong way, but once it has a chance to settle in, I give it a good drink of water, and probably in the next 2 days, the leaves will kind of all right themselves and it'll get used to being sort of up on this structure. But hopefully having this clear means that this irrigation point, the water that comes out of here, will be able to get actually in here. Previously, when the leaves were all down, the water was just basically bouncing off the leaves and it wasn't getting properly watered. So that is done. I've also given the strawberries a little tidy up, but let's cut a few of these gorgeous flowers and arrange them. Well, there you go. another big bunch of beautiful pink flowers. So I'm going to head onto the patio now and just do this little arrangement. I've done these arrangements with you many times. So in saying that then, I might actually bid you farewell. I'm not going to be doing too much else this afternoon. After this, I've got to head inside and I want to make some scones. I just need to kind of top up my little frozen supply. I'm all out. And that will probably be the bulk of my afternoon, I would say. So thank you as always very much for joining me, and I will see you next Wednesday for another new video. Bye.